Hello and yes, welcome back to another video, guys. Now today we're back to talk about the final part of the 60th anniversary specials for Doctor Who, The Giggle. The specials so far for me have been fun, they've been entertaining, they've been a huge step up from the previous 5 years we've had of the Chris Chibnall era. But they haven't been as grand as I wanted. I can admit that. There is a slight disappointment, but they've been good. They've been good and innocent and fun. This is the big conclusion. This is what Russell and David, they've all been talking about this one. This is the toy maker, the celestial toy maker. He's come back. He hasn't appeared in Doctor Who since, I think, series 3 of William Hartnell. This is like this grand epic villain comes back to give us a 60th anniversary special. How did the episode go? I really enjoyed it. It was really good fun. I have issues with it still. It's not perfect. There are some things I think they could have done better. There are some things I wish they hadn't done. But overall, there's a lot more positives here than negatives. For a start, again, David Tennant and Catherine Tate are just so good in this episode. They're both, the charisma going back and forth with both of them, just brilliant. They're both killing it. And there's a part of me that wishes we could get a whole season of them. But in a way, I'm so excited for what's to come, and we'll talk about the future in a minute. They're great. Neil Patrick Harris is the toy maker. I wasn't sure about this. I was like, you know, big Hollywood actor coming into Doctor Who. Not sure how I feel about that. I like Doctor Who being this more grounded show. It uses a lot of British TV actors and stuff. I've always liked that about the show. But he was so good in this. He was so great. The accents, this creepy persona his character had. He was fantastic. There's a dance sequence in this, which I think some people are probably not going to like. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. It's so Doctor Who-y. You know, this goes all the way back to the Master in Series 3 of Doctor Who. And then, of course, we had it in Jodie's final with these campy dance sequences. It's just so much fun. I think Neil Patrick Harris killed it. He was brilliant. Unit return. Kate come back, of course. That's all really cool. They had Mel, the 6th Doctor's companion, return. And I thought she was great. And I thought she was better here than she ever was in Classic Who. Her character is very stereotypical female character from back then. And it's like, you know, it didn't work very well. And here, you know, she does a lot more already. I think they've done a lot more character development for her in this one episode than they did in her whole run of Classic Who, which was cool. And then, yeah, let's talk about Ncuti. Ncuti appears in this. We get quite a bit of Ncuti. And I always find a lot of Doctors take their time to get into the role. I found this with Matt Smith. I don't think he instantly felt like the Doctor to me. It took him a good chunk of his season. Peter, I love Capaldi. He's my second favourite Doctor. But he took like a whole season to finally fit into the role. I think there was a lot of clashing ideas with Peter's Doctor, with Peter himself and the writers and all the directors. So unfortunately, his Doctor took a long time to get going, I think. Jodie, for me, never really fitted into the role too much. I don't think they could ever figure out what her personality was. It was a lot of clashing of old Doctors' personalities. Ncuti, though, bam, right away, felt like the Doctor. Bit like David Tennant, Chris Eccleston, for me, it was like, boom, this guy just feels like the Doctor. He's got his personality figured out. He's got his style figured out. I am so excited to see a whole episode with this guy on Christmas. I mean, I probably won't watch Christmas, I'll admit, because I'll have family around and stuff, but I'll be watching it Boxing Day morning, I know that much. And I'm really, really excited to see him in a whole episode with his new companion, Ruby Sunday. Is it Ruby Sunday, I think her name is? I think they're going to kill it. I think they're going to be brilliant. There's no doubt in my mind, actually. I think they're going to be absolutely amazing, Doctor and companion. What I am a bit worried about going forward with the future of this is the writing. It's been a huge step up, don't get me wrong, but it's still got some cracks and flaws in it. For me, when David starts regenerating a lot earlier than expected, which I loved. I loved that it was happening earlier. Donna's reaction was just like, you know, oh, you're not going to go through it alone. It's like, really? Like the last time when in Journey's End, in the season 4 finale, when David started regenerating, she was crying, bawling her eyes out. I know that she's matured now as a character, but it's like, she seemed a lot more okay with it. I feel like the writing could have been brushed up a bit better there. The emotional reaction to David regenerating could have been a bit grander. Along with that, I think the toy maker himself, while he was great, I think the writing around him was fantastic. He didn't really do much. You know, he sort of rocked up in 1925, put his plan in motion, come to present day, and the Doctor beat him straight away at one... well, you know, obviously he beat the Doctor at the card game, and then the next game, you know, he lost, and it was like, it was catch as well. It's like, really? Surely they could have come up with a more interesting game to beat the toy maker at. And then, of course, we've got the I forget what they're calling it, the regeneration where Ncuti come out of David. I loved it because at first I was like, yes, we are getting a multi-Doctor story. We've got Ncuti and we've got David. They're bouncing off each other. Brilliant. I was like, what are they going to do with David, though? Surely he's got to go still. You know, he's got to fade away or something. Or, you know, go back into Ncuti and be like, Ncuti's here now. He's the new Doctor. But no, they're now saying that Doctors can just pop out of the previous one. I don't know how I feel about this yet. This is all still sinking in. Because when Ncuti comes to regenerate in 4 or 5 years, is he just going to survive and another Doctor's just going to pop out? And I've heard Russell saying this is just an easier way for us to bring old Doctors back. And it's like, no, it's always been easy. You know, all these Doctors are coexisting at the same time because they're all time travellers. Just have them bump into each other. It's not hard. This happened in the 50th. It's happened in the 5 Doctors, the 2 Doctors, the 3 Doctors, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it's that hard. I don't know. I feel like this was... I get why they done it. Cool. We get to see David and Ncuti together. But now it's like, David's just out there. And it's like, what are they going to do with this? I know that a lot of people are already saying, oh, is David going to get a spin-off? And look, I'm all for seeing more David. He's my favourite Doctor. But if he has his own show going while Ncuti's run's happening, it takes away from Ncuti's run. And I think Doctor Who is all about moving forward. And it's like, we're going to be moving forward, yes, but we've still just got a reflection of the past happening at the same time. So I'm not sure how I feel about all of that yet. I think that that's something that's going to take a while to sink in. I don't hate it, like the Timeless Child stuff, where it's like, oh, okay, there were regenerations before William Hartnell. It's not as bad as that. It hasn't pissed me off or annoyed me to a great extent like that. But it feels a bit unnecessary at the minute. So I'm going to be curious to see where they go with this. I mean, it's going to be a lot easier for them to have David just pop up now, I guess. But I feel like they could have just used David anyway. Just say, oh, yeah, you know, we just bumped into each other. He was time traveling still, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, very, very interesting ending. But I did like the episode overall. I think it should have been longer because the toy maker felt rushed. I think that the specials overall have been fun, but I think it would have been better if the toy maker was spread across all 3 of the specials. But yeah, having the reflecting on them, overall they've been good fun, not amazing. The 50th was definitely better. But you know, it's been great to have David back. The nostalgia has been so much fun, and he's been brilliant. Catherine Tate's been great. The small appearances here, there, and everywhere from, you know, Wilfred and Sylvia and stuff is great, and the tease for the Master as well was fun, I guess. But yeah, this episode overall, I'm going to give a 7.5 out of 10 to. You know, these specials have all sort of been on the same level for me. They've all sort of felt the same. Like, they're good. They are entertaining. They're a big step up. But for the 60th anniversary, I wanted something a bit more. I wanted something a bit more grander. And maybe we were just spoiled with the 50th. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message. And as always, I'll see you next time for another video. Bye-bye.